let's actually play that clip you mentioned of what Pete Hegseth actually said. This was earlier this week, speaking of Lindsey Graham.
So I'm trying to get everybody to think, let's don't do what we did in the 30s. They're going to use a nuclear weapon if they get it. Are they trying to build a nuclear weapon versus a peaceful nuclear power program? Mr. Secretary, have the Iranians been trying to build a nuke?
There are plenty of indications that they have been moving their way towards something that would look a lot like a nuclear weapon.
What does that mean, look a lot like a nuclear weapon? Like, what does that even mean? What he means is he knows that they're actually not building a nuclear weapon because that's what U.S. intelligence only recently confirmed back in March. Tulsi Gabbard put out the intelligence report. The consensus view of the U.S. intelligence community is that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. What he meant was they were leaving the door open to becoming a nuclear threshold state, but that's a lot different than building a nuclear weapon. But just Hegseth's comments there, which just don't even really make sense on its face, that was used by people like Tom Cotton to manufacture support for what Israel then just did a few days later, which is to bomb Iran. And before we address, Iran's apparent lack of preparation, the fact that so many military leaders were wiped out very quickly, let's remember what the U.S. stance was in these negotiations. Okay, initially Steve Witkoff was saying, yeah, that's fine. Some enrichment, some uranium enrichment from Iran is acceptable. We accept that because that was, of course, the basis for the original Iran nuclear deal that Trump killed, which is that Iran had the right to peaceful enrichment, which it already has under the Non-Proliferation Treaty. But then as soon as the pro-Israel lobby freaked out about that, Witkoff and Trump changed their tune and they started saying things like not only zero enrichment for Iran, which is a non-starter because Iran has energy needs that it wants to meet to service its domestic needs, and also it sees enrichment as a sovereign right. It's something it invested a lot in developing. And Max, you can talk more about this having recently visited Iran. And then Witkoff also started saying we need to put caps on Iranian missiles. Yeah. So what Witkoff and Trump are basically saying is our demands are that Iran basically neuters itself so that it can't basically meet its domestic energy needs, and also so it can't defend itself. Because if Iran's not going to have nuclear weapons, it needs a way to defend itself from this sociopathic Israeli government that is constantly threatening everybody in the region. And Witkoff is saying Iran has to agree to curbs on its missile program. So Trump and Witkoff imposed terms Iran could never accept.